Alright, hi. Just want to do a quick video basically showing some of the equipment that I've acquired over the last 6 months, 5 months. I completely redid pretty much everything I owned. I had a Canon T3i and I upgraded to a Canon 5D Mark III, and I upgraded pretty much, actually I did upgrade all my lenses. In the process of upgrading, I bought a Canon 35mm, so I still have that lens, but all my other lenses are new. I had the Nifty 50 and I used to use that lens a lot, and I dropped it, and it still works, but it doesn't focus well now. So I went out and bought the 50mm 1.4, which is the step up from the Nifty 50. It's like a $350 lens. That's what I'm filming this on right now. It's a pretty clear, sharp lens. I like it. It's in 1.4, you shoot in the dark with it practically. This room's actually really dark, so it might not look like it, but it is. And I'm shooting at a pretty shallow depth of field. You can see I'm going out of focus if I move a little bit, but I think I'm at a 2.5 or something right now. I don't want to shoot too low because it's hard to keep myself in focus when I'm filming myself when I have a low f-stop going on. But I want to go through my bag real quick. I got it here on the floor, and I wanted to just show you guys what I got. First off, I guess I'll talk about my microphone. I'm using a Audio-Technica lavalier mic that I bought on Amazon, and it was only $20. So I'm testing this out to see how good it really is. Obviously a $20 mic isn't going to be that good, but I'm hoping that this one can do the job. I've used it once already, and I think it sounds pretty, for $20 it sounds really good, I think. So obviously it's not as good as the more expensive ones, but let's get started. For most of my audio recording, I use this. This is a Tascam DR40 digital audio recorder, and it's got 2 XLR inputs on the bottom, and you can also plug in, and there are multiple inputs where you can plug in 1/4 inch like line inputs. So like you can plug in a guitar or like a microphone that doesn't have an XLR input into this, and you can also plug it into like soundboards. That's what I do, like if I'm recording, like if I'm at a wedding and I want to record the DJ, or if I want to record like a live band, I'll plug straight into there. And this thing's awesome. You can record 4 channels at once on this thing. It's got the external mics too that you can actually, you can see here, you can open them up or you can close them down. It's a really good recorder, and this thing, literally a year ago, this was $250, and I don't know if they're getting, I think they just made a new one, so I think that's why they have a new one now, like the DR60 or something. It's a little bit better than this one, but the price wasn't, I got this thing for like $120, which is insane, because I had one that was cheaper than this, and I paid $150 for it, and it didn't have XLR, and it didn't have 4-channel, so this thing's really nice. I like it a lot. Basically the same thing as a Zoom H4n, which a lot of people use, and to me I don't know. I don't have anything against the Zoom, but this one here does the exact same thing as the Zoom, and it's a lot cheaper. Same size, same weight. The Zoom maybe has a little bit of a better build. This one's mostly plastic, but the thing works really good. Then besides this mic that I'm wearing, this lav mic, I use this. This is a Rode VideoMic Pro. I bought this for my T3i. It's got a little shock mount, so if you bump something, it doesn't make a lot of noise. It works really good. It runs on a 9-volt battery that lasts forever. I can go months without having to change the battery out. Just attaches onto the hot shoe or cold shoe mount on top of my 5D Mark III or my T3i. I usually plug this into my recorder though instead of my camera, just because the audio, like the chips that are built into the Canon cameras, the audio isn't very good in them, and you'll get a little bit of hiss. This is a really nice mic though. This is like a $230 microphone, and it sounds really good. It sounds pretty professional, and it's really small and light, which is good for DSLRs. But definitely this going into the audio recorder is a lot better than going into the camera. The 5D though, I've noticed a huge difference in audio quality between that and the T3i. It's amazing. I don't know, they must have definitely upgraded the internal like audio components, but they haven't stated anything about that at all really. Like, I don't know, Canon keeps everything kind of in the dark as far as what they do with their firmware and their software. They don't want people to know what's inside their cameras. So I don't know, probably because of hackers like the Magic Lantern people who have made cameras amazing. But okay, so we'll put this down. I definitely recommend this mic for people with DSLRs, especially Rode. The company Rode alone, any Rode microphones are really good in my opinion. I'm gonna start. I just got this. This tiny little camera is my GoPro Hero 3 Black Edition. Thing's awesome. It shoots at 4K. That's only at 15 frames per second though, so it's not really that usable for video. But you can shoot at 440p, which is cool because it's wider, or it's actually taller. So you can move the frame around a little bit if you want when you're recording, after you record. So it gives you a little leeway if you want to move some images. Like if you're doing a time lapse and you're like, oh shoot, something was in the way, you can kind of move your picture and reframe it. The camera's awesome. I love it. I got the black one. It's supposed to be a lot better in low light, so we'll see. I haven't done a lot of testing. I just got it a week ago for my birthday. My other piece of equipment that I used to use a lot when I was making a bunch of movies and short films, I haven't been lately, is this. This is a slider. I just have a cheap tripod head on top right now. This is 36-inch slider. It's made by Opteka. It was cheap on Amazon. It does the job. I would like to definitely upgrade eventually, because for my T3i this thing was awesome, but the 5D weighs like twice as much as the T3i does, and it sometimes if I want to do some stuff on angles or on uneven ground, it's kind of tippy. The 5D is a really heavy camera. For anyone that's used it or touched it, they'll know it's beefy. Okay, so now we'll get onto the fun stuff. My lenses. This is probably my favorite lens. This is the Canon 17-40 it's an f4 L series lens. L series is like the best. It's like the Cadillacs of the Canon lenses. They're like the best lenses you can get, really. Besides, like, I mean, there's some off-brand ones that are really crazy. Like Zeiss makes some really expensive lenses that are like $5,000, but these are awesome. This lens I did tons of reviews on, and it's supposed to be one of Canon's sharpest lenses as far as zoom lenses go. Usually primes are a little sharper than zooms, but this one's really good. It's super wide angle. I wanted a wide angle lens, and I have a. If I take the lens cap off, I don't know if you can tell. See how dark it is. I have a polarizing filter on there, a circular polarizing filter, and it basically polarizes out certain light, like it takes away reflections actually, which is really cool. Like if you're taking a picture of like a pond and there's like a really big reflection, you can take the reflection away. It also adds like it's really good for like scenery, like landscape shots. It makes the sky really, really blue, and it makes like brings out saturation in like grass and trees, and it's really, really nice lens. I really love this lens. It wasn't cheap though. That's one thing. I don't even want to say how much that lens costs. This is my Rokinon. I have a lens cover on here, but this is the Rokinon 35mm 1.4. So this is a prime lens. It goes down to 1.4, which means it's extremely good in low light. And the thing that's awesome with this lens is it's an off-brand lens. It's my only lens that isn't a Canon lens, but it has focus rings, like I'm going blank right now, but the gears for a follow focus are built onto this lens. So I actually have like a shoulder rig with the follow focus. So it's kind of cool. You don't have to have like any kind of external gears that you have to put on your lens. It's built on. This is actually considered a cine lens, And cinema lenses, like the Canon cinema lenses, the Canon ones, they start at like $3,000, and I bought this one for $550. So this is 35 mil. 35 mil on a full frame camera kind of simulates what the human eye would see. It's about the same like width and all that of a human eye. It's got crazy shallow depth of field because of the 1.4. You can, just like the one I'm filming with now, you can shoot in pitch black in this with this lens on with the 5D Mark III and have your ISO really high, and it's like literally better than your human eyes can see. This lens is great. I absolutely love it. And it's got a manual aperture ring on it, which is different. You can change you actually can't control the aperture in the camera with this. You have to do it manually, but it doesn't really bother me. For pictures, it's kind of tough, but for video, this is a really good lens. I definitely recommend Rokinon because I've watched a couple of tutorials where people compare the Rokinon, this exact lens, to the Canon 35mm 1.4, which costs $1,200, and you can't even tell the difference between the two. They're the exact same, and this lens is less than half the price. Rokinon makes really good lenses. Okay, now moving on to my next one, I have another L series. This is the kit lens that came with my camera. This is a big lens, as you can see. I actually have a lens gear thing wrapped on here. This is the 24-105. It's a really good, just all-around lens. 24 is pretty wide angle, and the 105, obviously, you get a pretty good amount of zoom. It's an L series. You only get the L series lenses with the 5D and the 6D. I don't think you can get it with the 7D, like as far as a kit. Only on their full frame cameras, L series. This is like $1,000 lens, but you get it for half off if you get it with the kit with the camera. So I definitely wanted to do it. It's a badass lens. L series lenses, they focus insanely fast. Like, I don't know. If you do pictures and you're manually I mean, obviously you manually focus when you're doing video, but if you're doing pictures and you're using the autofocus, all the L series lenses focus instantly. They're awesome, and you don't hear them. They're super quiet. They're really good. So that's a good lens. And the 50 that I have on there now that we're recording this with is probably my 50mm is like one of the most used lenses just because it's a good all-around lens. But this is probably my favorite lens, even though it's not as usable as the 50 is. It's the same type of lens. It's a 85mm 1.8. It looks just like the 50. It's built the same. It's not an L series. It's plastic. Like the L series are plastic, but they're built like tanks. They're really big and heavy, and they're awesome. But this lens is really sweet. I think this is, I want to say $350, and it's extremely sharp. This is easily the sharpest lens I have. The 50 is pretty sharp. This one is way sharper. The pictures I've taken are just completely amazing with this lens. It's awesome, and this is my fastest focusing lens, even though it's not an L series. All my lenses, they're ultrasonic is what they call them. USM, ultrasonic motor, and just basically has to do with the quiet, fast focusing motor for autofocus. And this thing, it's amazing. That's all I can say, how fast this focuses. And the step up from this lens is 85mm is like a portrait lens for most people. I mean, it's really pretty zoomed in, and it's got really blurred out bokeh black, like the background is just completely blurred out with this lens. It makes for amazing looking pictures and video. The video is awesome too, but I don't know. All I can say is this lens is awesome. The one that is the L series of this version is like $2,000, and it's twice the size of this, and it weighs like a brick. And I've heard like that's what most like wedding photographers use, is that one. But most people say that this one focuses twice as fast as that one, and it's not quite as good in low light because that one's a 1.2, which is like the lowest you can go. This is a 1.8. So obviously you're going to get a little bit not quite as good in low light, but 1.8 is still amazing in low light. I mean, you're going to get awesome. If you're shooting lower than that, I mean, there's no reason for it. If the depth of field is so shallow that like someone's nose would be in focus and their like side of their head would be out of focus. It's too shallow. This lens is awesome. I highly recommend this and the 50mm 1.4. Both lenses are less than $400. If you can get them on sale, you can get them around $300. They're awesome. Okay, so that is most of my gear. I have a backpack here, but I'm not gonna pick it up. It's basically just a normal backpack, and it has like slots where all my lenses pop in. I have a condenser microphone, but that might be for a whole separate video. I might show my studio. I have a dual monitor studio with some like really good speakers and stuff, so we'll deal with that later. Have a good day, and thanks for watching.